Welcome to Harry Potter and the Anxious Millennials, a show where we delve week by week into each chapter of the Harry Potter series. Hello. Welcome back to another episode.
Hi there.
Arri, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm good. The sun is
I was just about to say.
It's about to reflect off this window across.
Yeah.
So it's about to be like right in my eye.
Yeah, I was just looking at I like all of a sudden saw the sun reflecting on your chin. Is it that quick? It's moving that fast where you are?
Yeah, it's just like about to hit exactly the window and like bounce off of it into my eyeball. Here we go. Woo!
I love this for you.
Right.
We purchased. Oh, Adam! You're gonna like sizzle. Yeah. I'm melting.
I'm
so sorry.
Go away in like
and you don't have
minutes.
You don't have blinds. Do you want to just wait until it's gone?
Yeah, I'll pause it.
This week we read chapter 25 called The Egg.
Oh,
The Egg and the Eye. The Egg in the Eye. Adam, what happens in this chapter?
Harry works out what the egg means, not necessarily how to like solve his problem of the second task, but he works out what it means.
Not exactly.
And Mad-Eye Moody takes the Marauders map.
Perfect.
So this chapter starts. Let me open my notes. This chapter starts and Harry's like, well, I guess I'm going to do the bathroom thing and I'm going to go get in the baths and I'm going to try to figure this goddamn egg out.
I guess I have to listen to Cedric after all.
Yeah. And he was like, he decided he would do it be in the prefect bathrooms because it wouldn't be as busy. Okay.
So this means I knew this was going to happen because right away, you should have seen me. I was listening to it and I literally was like, so there are other bathrooms and they have just never been mentioned ever.
So the only bathrooms, again, that we've encountered in the series are the bathroom that the troll gets into and they rescue Hermione from, and Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, which are both bathrooms. They are both toilets. They are both
and like girls
just that. Yes.
Bathrooms.
So we have never up until now known that they were allowed to bathe at Hogwarts.
Not allowed. You're not allowed.
But then this information begs the question of like, where are they separate from the toilets? Are they like house specific? Are they like year specific? I mean, they're probably gender specific, I would assume, but like the way that the prefect bathroom is laid out is very strange because there are 8 prefects at Hogwarts. There's 2 for each house. So there's
no.
Right?
No, there's 2 once you're a 5th year. 5th, 6th, and 7th year. 5th. No, they would all, because Percy's like was a prefect. Prefect and then head boy and girl are the 7th years.
Oh, so I always just assumed it was
okay. So there'd be 6 for each house, and then like I'm assuming whoever would be head boy and head girl would be chosen from the prefects.
Yeah.
So then a head boy and head girl would come from that.
So 24-ish, 24 to 26.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the bathroom is,
but it's
equipped for way more than.
It's one big room. It's not like you're getting individual cubicles.
No. You have to like. There's a little notepad outside. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like a clipboard with a little pen hanging, or a quill, because we don't have pens.
Okay, so then let's follow this train of thought. And we're literally just talking about the prefect bathroom.
Yeah, just this one option.
Because it's easier, I'm going to say that there are 24 people that use this bathroom because it's just going to be easier for the math.
Yeah.
In a 24-hour day, there are only 16 hours that people are awake because you need 8
Right.
hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So now you have to take those 16 hours and then divide up slots for each person, because I'm assuming people want to bathe every day.
Alone. Yeah. Or like want to bathe alone too. So no one's like going in together. Is it
I mean,
like
I guess-
like a Korean spa where everyone's just there naked? Like the hours for the girls, the hours for the boys.
And well, they can't mix, Arri. They
No,
cannot
that's what
mix.
I'm saying that knowing J.K. Rowling, that she's not going to have she's not going to have them together.
It is, this part of the books that she wrote is so crazy because it's fully unnecessary, and truly, in all honesty, they're fine. It's fun. I like the idea of the bath. I love the taps. I love the mermaid on the wall. Fine. This is all great. Moaning Myrtle's comeback.
No.
Great.
Moaning Myrtle is so creepy in this. You know, I just don't understand why there was never a mention of like Harry finished washing up and headed down to the Great Hall. Like just once or twice in every book.
Right.
Or like Hermione went to wash up in the girls' lavatory while Ron and Harry went into the boys' showers by themselves. I don't know. The only wait, we do hear about showers with the Quidditch team. That's it.
Oh, yes. But that's later, right?
In this book? Or no, didn't it happen in the third book? Like, because Wood was trying to drown himself in the showers or whatever.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. But I mean, still, that would
What
be
is
near the Quidditch
happening?
pitch. It's just so weird that a toilet is not even mentioned. Hold on, wait. Michael? Hey, babe. He might have gone.
The WC.
Taken
the water closet.
Oh. The water closet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like, is it not, toilets are just like not discussed in UK culture?
I don't. I mean, I understand why she's not writing about them like fucking
but just
bathing
like
every day. But
yeah,
like,
right.
It is strange to never be like, Harry appeared after, the way you said, like
just very briefly mentioning it, just for a second, not like a long thing.
No,
I don't know.
But also, then weird. I really have to know: are the normal bathrooms also like the prefect bathroom, like where it's just like it's not as nice of a big bath?
Yeah.
But the way it's written, it makes it seem like he's like impressed that it is one big bath. So I have to assume that the like normal bathrooms are like stalls. Right. But then I definitely don't understand how you're letting like 15, 16, 17-year-olds just like hang out naked with each other. Like there's no way. Percy and Penelope Clearwater were definitely
for sure
in the bathroom.
For sure. Had to have been. I mean, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, it just I was struck. And I had to know more, and we will never know more. And like,
no, we won't.
Then you have to think about how like the baths weren't even like toilets and stuff. There was no plumbing in Hogwarts until like the mid 1800s or whatever. And then we talked about that. Go back to book 2 if you want to listen to that conversation. So like, what were we doing before then?
Absolutely not.
But also like wizards don't have a way to just like, they don't have a spell to like freshen themselves up.
Yeah, Scourgify. Scourgify my ass.
My little bow.
What is it? I mean, I feel like even if you are doing that, doesn't like you still kind of feel dirty though, because you didn't actually like. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you can, we talked about Crustify and Arm and Hammer me. So
right.
What's the version for your body? I don't know. Everyone bathes in the lake with the giant squid.
I will say this chapter led me to a lot of questions that I've never asked before.
Yes, it's one of those.
So he's like, well, I got to go in the middle of the night. I'm assuming he doesn't really say why, but I'm assuming it's because he's not a prefect, so like he can't be seen like going
Right.
to use the bath. That's fine. That makes sense.
Right.
So he is like, well, I have to use my invisibility cloak, and then he just weirdly like she writes the mention of like he was once caught by Filch, and I was like, why are we mentioning something that happened in book 1? Like that was weird to me.
I know. When she said that, I literally had to be like, what time was that? Like it took me. I was like, yeah, wait.
It's Norbert, right? That's the Norbert reference.
It has to be, yeah. In the movie where he's like, "Oh damn, we are in trouble."
Yeah,
he says it just like that. One of my best impressions, to Filch in the first Harry Potter movie. Yeah, it has to be that one. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, fine. So he's like, well, I have to use the invisibility cloak, and I'm obviously going to take the Marauders map. And these, as the book tells us, are his 2 most important tools that he has not used in this book yet, basically.
Yeah, not once. Well, he used the cloak that one time.
Used the cloak to go with Hagrid, but has not touched the Marauders map.
No. Not at all.
I want you to know, Allie and I once had this conversation and you didn't like what we said, how we would use the invisibility cloak to spy on people. Oh. But I'm not kidding. I would use the map to just like see what's going on. Because I'm a map person and I like looking at maps, but also it's an interactive map that
yeah. No, I didn't like the idea. I didn't like the idea of spying on people because of my anxiety that I'm like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
But the map, I'm just like a voyeur.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, and you're just seeing like where people are. It's not even doing.
Yeah, you can't see like
you're not seeing them.
You're not actually.
Although there was the time where it was like when he went to use the statue of the humpbacked woman. And then it was like, there was an image of Harry saying Defindo or whatever. And then it was how, right. Yeah. And then we were like, so wait, they're people? Yeah.
They're little figures? I guess I just always assumed it was just little footsteps. A little like dot? Movie. Isn't it just a little dot walking around? I don't know why this is my impression of a dot.
Yeah, dot.
Just walking around on the map, and then like it was like just a little speech bubble popped out.
I don't remember. I'm not going back to book 3.
It can't be an actual person.
That's true. That would be crazy.
Ridiculous. But it is weird thinking that like it suggests things for you to say. Like, what if you're like with your crush and you like don't know what to say, and it's like, so what's your favorite color? Like, you have the map in front of you.
Does the map know like the updated like house passwords? Do you know what I mean?
We're back to the house passwords, and there was a new one in this chapter. I thought of you right away.
It was so annoying.
So if you get to the that's a better example. If you get to the if you go to like hole, or if you go to Hufflepuff and you're like,
right,
does it tell you
that one's a good one because it's never changed.
Yeah.
At least with the like fat lady, fine. It changes often enough that like there's no way for it to know, I guess. But also, Hufflepuff is just like a. Is it going to solve the riddle for Ravenclaw for you?
Yeah, it suggests like answers A, B, C.
A, B, C.
It's like with the Slytherin. I mean, the last time we heard the password, it was Mudblood, which like. Absolutely not.
And who makes the password? Your
password was Severus Snape.
We think.
I mean, I don't know who else would make them.
But then, like, that means McGonagall's making the fat lady passwords, and like, why did she not update the fat lady password for 6 months straight?
Okay, so then if the fat lady makes it up, the fat lady makes up the passwords herself.
I love this.
She makes up the passwords herself. And then the Slytherin, what was the Slytherin? How do you get into the Slytherin one? It's on a portrait hole, right? Is it? I can't remember.
It was
Sorry, guys.
I don't remember. I thought it was a painting, but it was just like not the fat lady.
Was it something related with snakes? I don't remember the
description of it.
Was it something with snakes? I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, is that?
We just have a
that
lot
how
of
that
questions,
works?
is what we're saying.
Yeah, and we'll never get the answers.
We'll never get the
so
answers.
This is just a reoccurring loop that we're stuck in.
But speaking of questions, so he's like, he's going in the middle of the night, and then the weirdest thing in this entire book so far happens, and I have to read it to you. Do you know what I'm going to say?
No, not at all.
Because this has not been mentioned up until this point. So now I'm
Okay.
flabbergasted as to what it could mean. On Thursday night, Harry sneaked up to bed, put on the cloak, crept back downstairs, and just as he had done on the night when Hagrid had shown him the dragons, waited for the portrait hole to open. This time it was Ron who waited outside to give the fat lady the password banana fritters. Good luck, Ron muttered, climbing into the common room as Harry crept out past him. Is he not allowed to open the portrait hole if he's, like, it'll raise suspicion of the fat lady?
Haven't they done that before where like they've pushed past her and she's like, who's there?
Yes.
That just happened that one time and he was like, someone's got to open the door for me every time.
It's so, I was like,
I don't know.
what?
Yeah, you're right. No, that's never happened. I was just distracted by the fact that we had a new password that I didn't think about that, but you're right.
It's just, okay.
So what about when he comes back?
That's what I'm saying.
Does he just take the cloak off and is like, oh, hey, I'm here? And she's like, oh, where did you come from? Like, I don't understand. Like, what? Or he comes around the corner. This is so stupid.
But
I'm sorry.
also,
this would all be solved by having cameras in the corridors.
But also, like,
cam or sensors, motion sensors.
The absolute insanity of it being like just the password is all you need to open it, when like you could just learn the password from someone else and then get in.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
She could be looking at someone in head to toe Slytherin regalia, like, but if they knew green and silver. Yeah. But if they say the password, she has to open.
She'd be like,
"What kind of security system is this?"
I don't understand. I feel like, especially with the fact that there was that the whole time. Why even change the password then? Why even change it? It could just be the same one.
How do we not have a fingerprint scanner?
I told you, a ring cam.
Oh my God. So he goes, he walks through the corridors and then finds the prefect bathroom and goes inside, and it's like Gorgessa. She's giving McMansion. She's giving like master suite, ensuite bathroom.
Yes, a Grecian bath inspired.
Right. So it's like candles. It's entirely candles everywhere. White marble on everything, like head to toe white marble, or nothing, girl.
Yes.
And a like swimming pool. I'm thinking like Olympic sized swimming pool.
There's literally a diving board, so it must be.
Right. So huge swimming pool, which is empty. Yes. It must be because he fills it up.
This pool was there for hours waiting.
This chapter is
waiting for hours for that pool to fill up. Oh my God. Wait, it was, was it? Did she specify? Where's my book? Was there any water in there?
I don't think it says. Because I like was specifically looking to see if it was like, it was halfway filled and then you could like fill it up with Oh no, it does say there's water because he says he tries the taps and he says that one of the taps creates like a purple mist over the water.
Oh, okay. So there's already water in it.
So there's already water in it.
I liked the idea.
But then I could only think about our hot tub in California when it was like dark and it was cold.
We were like, oh, this is so fun. Yay.
I love vacation.
Oh, great. Crouching on the edge. Yay, hot tub. Yay. Trying to keep like try and keep my boobs out of the water. Like,
so there are
okay, so
100.
it's not like that for him.
Right. There are 100 golden jewel-encrusted taps.
Yeah, a different jewel on each one. We're talking birthstone collection.
I don't even care about that. There are 100 taps on this pool.
Adam doesn't care about the birthstone.
I don't care. And
I don't even care about that.
Each of them do something
100.
different.
This is the
So there are 100 different effects that you can do to this tap. What? This is why people want to be a prefect.
This is the only reason. This is the was it the last
and that you
chapter?
Can just have free sex whenever you want.
The time before, was it the last chapter or the one before where we were like 100 what was it? 100 tables? No, we said 100 tables. Yeah, 100 tables that
12.
sat 12. Yes, and we were like, and this is that 100 taps. How long? Okay, so let's 100.
Joe can't count. I'm convinced 25. Joe does not know how to estimate a number of things.
25 tap. If we're gonna like do it evenly, 25 taps on each side of the pool. If it's like square.
Yeah. And they all do something different.
This is an Olympic-sized pool. You're right. It has to be.
Unless you go with your birthstone theory, there are 12 birthstones, okay. So you have to find all the ones that have the same birthstone. They all do the same thing.
They do the same thing.
From different places. But then that's still crazy.
Either way.
Nuts.
Well, he turns on one of them. That's the one with the lavender like suds and
like
mist
lavender,
or whatever.
There's like lavender clouds that like sit. There's one that's like lavender clouds that sit on top of the water. There's one that have suds that are so thick and heavy you could practically like lay on them. And then there's just general like different colors and bubbles and blah 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 blah.
And then the army purple whale just floats on in the clouds. The lavender clouds.
Yeah. So yes. So okay. He fills up the pool, bath, whatever we're deciding to call it.
The bath.
He takes off his pajamas because mine is the English spelling, so it's pajamas. And slippers and
pie with a Y?
PYJAMAS. Yeah.
Oh.
His slippers and his dressing gown. And he gets into the bath with the egg, and he's naked. He's like, "Oh, all right, let me open it." And then it's still screaming, and he's like, "Cool, this is fucking stupid," and was a waste of my time.
Cedric played my ass.
Yeah,
got my girl and played my ass.
And then from the corner of the room that he thought was uninhabited, that there was no one else in. This
was uninhabited, so he was uninhibited.
Right. Ooh, say that. He hears a voice that's like, "You should put it in the water, Harry."
Ew! It's so creepy. I feel so bad for him in this moment. Because, like, technically this girl is like 100 years old, is she not? No. She's the same age as Hagrid.
Yeah.
Even though she
like
died
60.
as a child, but yeah. And then she like fully admits to coming in and watching the prefects from time to time.
This is what's crazy. So Moaning Myrtle shows up and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Yeah. And she tries to be like, "Well, you have stopped visiting me." Gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
Gaslight gatekeep girl boss Myrtle.
And he was like,
"You stopped visiting me, so you can't be mad that I'm watching you change without your permission."
Yeah.
It's all your fault, actually.
And then he, it's so crazy to me that Joe Rowling is like a person who deeply cares about the alleged bathroom stuff and wrote this book. I just like,
when I tell you that I was like, this bathroom scene is so ironic. That was my I was like,
crazy.
This is really ironic.
Crazy.
Just because it's in. So then that is a whole other layer of like, she thinks it's just funny because it's a girl.
You going to
watching
a boy.
Yes. And I was like,
it's bad news bears. It bad news bears. Okay.
Yeah.
So Myrtle shows up. She tries to gaslight him and be like, well, you stop coming to my bathroom, so I'm allowed to literally spy on you while you're naked.
So stupid.
And then he's like,
well, I also spy on the other prefects, but I've never talked to them before, so count yourself lucky. I've never done a reveal before and showed myself.
It's definitely worse that she's the.
Also, sorry. I'll wait.
No,
to
you're
ask
good.
The question.
No, continue. You have to ask the question. It must be asked.
She disappears into the tap. Like she shrinks up like a little sprite and zooms through the tap. What is going on? That's something ghosts can do? There's a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions about what ghosts can do because of what happens in this chapter.
She ended up in the lake at some girl. What?
I don't know. And her whole thing, how like she wasn't even at Hogwarts for a while after she died.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So So after this conversation where Harry tries to defend himself for not going back to be accosted by Myrtle after book 2, she's like, anyway, you should put the egg in the water and open it because that's what Cedric Diggory did, is what I was trying to tell you, you fool.
So she was also creeping on Cedric.
Okay, so he opens it underwater, but obviously can't hear anything. And then she's like, you have to put hi, dummy. You have to put your head under the water to listen to it. And he's like, okay.
You both need to be under the water.
You have to hear in the same. Okay. So this is where we get this gorgeous. Do you want to sing it or do you want me to just read it?
No, you can read it. I only know the movie one, really. Come see us. That one.
Okay. So
why don't you sing it?
Sing!
Sing for us.
So the egg is singing. It's not wailing anymore. It actually sounds like a beautiful song, and this is what it says.
No more skrelting.
No more skrelting, only belting. Come seek us where our voices sound. We cannot sing above the ground. And while you're searching, ponder this. We've taken what you'll sorely miss. An hour long you'll have to look and to recover what we took. But past an hour, the prospect's black. Too late, it's gone. It won't come back. Poetry.
Really deep. Yeah, really makes you feel something. Mm-hmm.
Shel Silverstein caught dead.
Shel Silverstein. Where the sidewalk ends could never.
So I will say in Harry's defense, this might be the first time he's ever done something smart. Because very quickly he figures out that it's mer people in the Black Lake. But
even that,
very quickly.
Myrtle's trying to help him a little, or kind of helping him.
She does give him a little bit of help, but she says he figured it out much quicker than Cedric did.
Oh, okay.
And that's even with the
mermaid, absolutely.
The portrait of the mermaid,
turning it out. Yeah. Flipping her fins.
She doesn't get too far.
I was just about to say she didn't get too far.
So it's mer people. Obviously, Harry doesn't know what they're going to take. Stay tuned for that.
We don't know either.
We don't know. We have no idea. I've never read these books, so
I don't know what happens.
So very quickly he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go.
I need to change, so
I would have, if she hadn't been, you know what, maybe I would have stayed even if Myrtle was there, because you're never gonna get to experience this again.
Well, he has his invisibility cloak, so he technically could pop back over, and the password, which I'm assuming doesn't change.
Sure, that's true.
The fact that before we move past this, the fact that Myrtle was able to haunt Olive Hornby throughout her life And then Olive had to report Myrtle to the ministry, and then the ministry forced Myrtle to come back to Hogwarts and live in her toilet. First off, is Myrtle under house arrest? I think she is. She's like under house arrest in her toilet.
It's
also, how is she allowed to do that in the first place? So ghosts really can just like go wherever they want. They're not held to like one location at all.
How do ghosts travel?
In the stratosphere.
What does that mean?
During the Eurotunnel. They just whew!
On the tube.
If she went through it, because at the end she like goes into the tap, and I don't understand.
So here's the information that we learn just from the like 2.5 pages of Myrtle in this chapter. We learn that Myrtle at one point or another has been flushed along with the contents of her toilet into the lake. Okay.
House arrest. Why would this bitch be living in a toilet? It has to be house arrest.
Which now I hate that just like there's just poop in the lake. It's not getting treated, girl.
No.
The Black Lake's not getting treated. And they're about to jump in. Spoiler alert, they're about to jump into the... Oh yeah, Crumb did.
Swimming in it. Yeah.
That's why it's black.
Oh my God. Yeah, yes, what? Girl, that makes no sense. What are you doing, JK? You can't have a little throwaway moment like that.
Yes, we find out that Myrtle was so mad at the girl who made fun of her that she haunted her for the rest of her life up until her wedding day, and the ministry had to get involved, and basically Olive Hornby sued Myrtle.
It wasn't even her wedding. It was her brother's wedding.
Oh, it was her brother's wedding. Yeah.
And it was like, I was like, which is funny because I was like, that's so specific and random that it was funny. But I just was like, wait, you can't, that's such a, I have so many questions now. You can't just throw that in there.
Imagine being like, you know what we need? We need to know the life of Newt Scamander when Myrtle's life is sitting right here, just waiting to be explored.
Oh, I'm telling you, I don't understand.
And then, yeah, at the very end, when he like goes to leave, she like blue skidoos.
Yeah, blue skidoos. That's what it feels like. She just shrinks up into a little ball.
Yeah, and then like
I don't understand this.
Slides into the tap.
So then, so ghosts can walk through walls, but then also shrink themselves and travel through tap pipes.
Yeah, ghosts are just not. They're multifaceted. You expect the unexpected with ghosts, girl. Ghoulies.
The ghosts. The ghosts like have to just be like bopping around all over the school like that at any time. Like that we've never talked about ghosts. Well, no, Peeves popped into the boys' dormitory that one time and woke up Harry. So I'm like, they can literally just come in anytime they want. Myrtle probably like watches the boys while they sleep too. That is so creepy. She's creepy.
It's crazy that, I mean, obviously if she was like going to somebody's brother's wedding, she is not inhibited to it being just through the like plumbing of Hogwarts.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it is. She's traveling through like the sewers. Like, what is happening? I don't understand. This is so weird. And it's like meant to be a throwaway moment. And I'm like, it is the opposite of that. Now I just have so many questions about Myrtle and like ghosts existing.
But you know what? Here's the thing, girl. Enjoy your comedy while it lasts, because after this book, these moments become few and far between.
Right. 5 is when we get like super depressing.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So Harry is like, well, that was an adventure, and I will never do that again. So he goes to go back. He goes to go back to the Gryffindor common room, and he's like scanning the map to make sure Filch or Mrs. Norris is not like walking by. And for some reason, he like notices that someone is in Snape's office, but it's not Severus Snape. It's Bartemius Crouch.
Who would have thought? Bartemius himself.
Yes, himself, Bartemius.
You know,
right.
the one that we know.
Is
the Bartemius that we are familiar with.
Yes.
Yes.
So, so he was like, well, I'm going to go. This is what, like, me and Harry, not the same. I would be like, well, hope Barty's having fun down there. I'm going to go back to bed.
Oh, I would 100% be Harry. I'd be like, let's go check it out.
First of all, it's the middle of the night, and I need my sleep, girl. You would not catch me out. I would be like, I will forego winning the Triwizard Tournament because I'm not getting up in the middle of the night to go to the prefect bathroom. I'm not doing it.
I relate to that. Yes. Sure.
So he was like, well, I'm going to go check this out. So he goes and he's like watching the map and he is walking through Hogwarts. He does have his invisibility cloak on. Mm-hmm. But then he is on the stairwell. This is so stupid. This is like book 1 all over again, except, book 1 when he like leaves the invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're such a fucking idiot. This is like the same thing. So he is walking down the stairwell and he gets his foot caught in the trick step. And then she has to remind us that Neville and his clumsy ass is always getting caught in this step.
Know.
And I was like,
what a clown Neville is.
Leave Neville's name out of this chapter.
Yeah, this was Harry's dumbass mistake. Nothing to do with Neville.
Neville is asleep in his bed. Dreaming of sugar plum fairies. Anyway.
The fairies from the ball.
From the ball. So he gets caught in a step. He's stuck. He like loses the egg and the map. The egg rolls down, and where it lands, it like opens. So it's just like it's your car alarm, just like going off. Wait. And then the map, which also is like fully not mischief managed.
Display. Not mischieving. Not managed.
She's not managed. She's open for everybody to see. She like lands a little bit too far away from Harry that he can't like close the window.
Spread eagle.
Right.
Spread eagle.
He can't Control Alt Delete and close the map. So obviously this massive sound, first of all, should be waking everyone in the castle up. That's how loud I imagine the egg.
I mean, it has to be really loud. They all were like complaining about it in the Gryffindor common room. So
it doesn't even matter about that. There's no carpeting. We're just reverberating. Everything's reverberating. It's a stone building.
Stone walls, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh my God.
So Filch shows up, finds the egg, and like I'm surprised at how simply is immediately, instead of being like, oh, it's a Triwizard, is literally like, it's Peeves stealing from a Triwizard.
It's Peeves. He stole it from someone and brought it here and threw it down the stairs.
Right.
There's no Peeves anywhere.
There's no Peeves
to be seen.
I don't even remember the last time we saw Peeves in this book.
This is just his vendetta, and so he's just always gonna jump to Peeves. It's like the older men who are just like, they've always got the same excuse for why shit is the way it is. It's like always their scapegoat to blame. His is Peeves.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I'm sure a lot of the shit he has to clean up because they're employing a squib to clean up a wizard school. I bet a bunch of the stuff he has to clean up is caused by Peeves. So stupid.
So, he's like, I'm gonna go get Dumbledore, Peeves. It's the end of the rope, girly. You're gonna be gone. Bye. call him Gillian Flynn, because girl, you're gonna be gone, girl. Anyway,
Gone, girl, gone.
And then Snape shows up, and
in
they
a
both
gray
start,
nightshirt. Ick.
I
was like, I don't want to picture his like naked legs out. Gross.
like his skinny little legs,
Yes.
with like covered in hair,
dark hair. It's like
hair,
also somehow
but,
oily.
like white skin.
I don't like
Snape
it.
arrives, and he's like, "Oh, I know. Somebody was sneaking around in my cupboard, in my office." And he's like, "But it can't be Peeves, because Peeves can't get into my office."
Why not?
How come?
Myrtle can fly through a drainage pump.
Peeves showed up in a boys' dormitory next to their bed, girl. How come he can't come into your little office?
He says, this like bumped me when he said this. I put a spell on my door only a wizard could break. I'm like, then why even put a spell on it? What are you doing?
You're at a school of wizards.
You put a spell on it that a wizard could break. Bitch, are you stupid?
Why don't you put a spell on it only muggles could break, and wizards wouldn't know how to break it? How about that?
Why don't you put a spell on it that only a ghost could come in through, because they can't grab anything?
Girl, you got to put a lock on it like it's an escape room. One of those ones with like letters.
Severus, why did you not do an escape room? You idiot. Oh my god. That was the way that was said was so weird to me.
Yeah. So they're trying to figure out what's going on, and then all of a sudden Moody shows up. Now it's just like 3's a crowd. 2's a company, 3's a crowd. And he so famously, Moody can see through the invisibility cloak. Don't forget that. So Moody comes upon what's going on. He's like, "Hello, good evening. How are we doing this fine evening? I have not been doing anything. Don't worry about my business. What are we yelling about in the middle of the corridor?" And Filch is trying to explain that Peeves got the egg and stole it from a student, and then Snape is like, blah, 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 blah. And then Moody like stops listening to them and like sees Harry in the under the invisibility cloak, and he's like,
have you seen that video of the cat where it opens its mouth? That is what I picture Moody doing, where he's like,
I have not.
One, probably because that's what I would do. Like, I would be like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, what a scene.
Right.
To see. Harry's like this in the stairs with like a cloak over his head.
Yeah. So, anyway, so Moody is like, they have this long conversation. Really, nothing happens during the conversation, to be quite honest.
No,
Moody's
I thought it was too long.
It was so long. Moody's like, well, I'm famously an Auror, Severus, and this is why I'm on the lookout at all times. And you may remember that I had to go through your office at the start of the semester. And why are you so concerned about Harry Potter and diddly do? And
I mean, fair point.
Because so I didn't mention. So Moody like notices the parchment, and then Severus is like, "Oh my god, it's Harry's." And then Harry's like, "It's mine. Don't let him have it." So Moody like acquios it and gets it away from Severus, and Severus is like, "I definitely know Harry's here somewhere. He's about to like find him." And that's when like this whole conversation happens.
It's so funny because Severus is right, but like not a good look, bro. You're literally like trying to like sniff Harry out.
It's very
you better chill.
It's very
Winifred.
Dinkelberg. Is it Dinkelberg? What is his name in I don't think you watched it. Fairly Odd Parents, where he's like always convinced. Oh, okay. Where I love
Fairly Odd Parents.
You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
watch SpongeBob, so how would I assume?
It was just for whatever reason, it was only SpongeBob. Like literally every other Nickelodeon show I was able to watch. Oh wait, not Rugrats. That was Nickelodeon too, right?
Oh,
Not
why?
Rugrats. She didn't want me to act like Angelica, which like
Yeah,
fair
you've said
because I would have.
and you did anyway.
She's sassy. I liked it.
She's great. The teacher, he's always like, it's berries.
Yes, right. Exactly.
That's very Snape in this moment. So he's like about to catch Harry, and then Moody's like, why are you so concerned about Harry Potter's well-being all of a sudden? Yeah, I find that very interesting, Severus. I'm not saying anything, but I just find it very interesting that you suddenly are very concerned about Harry and what's going on in the tournament and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And I think Dumbledore would like to know.
Right.
Severus.
Interesting. And then Severus is like, or Snape's like, I can't call him by his first name. Snape's like, Dumbledore trusts me, which like, why?
Not really. Dumbledore just knows that you're a fucking incel.
Yeah.
And your ego will
Right.
like prevent you from doing anything.
Right. And you respect Dumbledore too much. And then this like dumb conversation happens, and then they all split off. And then finally Harry and Moody are alone. And Moody like looks at the map and he's like, girl, what is this? This is bonkers. And
Whoa.
Harry's like, yeah, it's like, it's just like a little thing I have where, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. That's my map.
It's my map. And so Moody asks to borrow it, but not before asking what Harry saw. And Harry's like, I saw Barty Crouch in Snape's office. And he was like, it said Barty? I just want to make sure that it just said the words Barty Crouch.
Yeah,
there were just no other. It was nothing else. It just said Bartemius Crouch. I just want to make sure.
Bartemius Crouch, correct. Just that.
Just
no
that.
suffix.
No suffixes.
No suffix.
Okay. There's no reason I would be asking. So
he had to have been looking at the map, seeing his name right there.
Right.
Like when he's looking down. So he's like, oh shit, I can't give this back to him.
Right. Because Harry would look down immediately and be like,
yeah, and see it was,
why the fuck doesn't it say Alistair Moody, girl? And why is Alistair Moody sitting in a trunk in your
This is why they haven't used the map yet, I think. Because he can't have
figured it out.
Yeah, he can't have figured out. Well, I mean, I guess Barty Crouch was around Hogwarts at one point, but like he hasn't been for a while, so he can't have used the map before this moment.
He's just not a curious person. Harry Potter's just not a curious person, and that's fine.
I guess not.
And so they have this little conversation, and Moody asks to take the map forever, basically. And Harry's like, yeah, I mean,
TBD, how long he'll need it.
Yeah.
It's like, let me have this.
And Harry's like, what am I going to say? No, sorry. Actually, no, I do need it. Sorry.
Really, really important, valuable item here. So
this is actually priceless, a priceless item.
I'll give you my cloak, though. I leave that thing just laying around anywhere.
Fucking where. It's made by Death. I don't know that yet, but it is made by Death, so.
Invaluable, but I just, put it wherever it lies.
Whatever, fuck it. I'll leave it in a trap door on a roof or whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's fine.
So they, in this conversation, and at the end, Moody's like, you should be a cop. This was like
cab. Well, maybe our aura's more close to like
detectives,
FBI or CIA, like more like secret agenty.
I don't know.
MI6.
Sure.
MI6.
Sure.
I don't know if that's much better. I don't know much about MI6, but I'm watching Killing Eve, so.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a bug in here? Absolutely not.
So, yeah, it's a weird I don't know. I'm very confused by, spoiler alert, I'm very confused by Barty Crouch Jr. in this book because I get that he's like trying to live in the
Trying to be
role,
moody.
but like, I don't know.
He
It's very
crossed
strange.
over. He went a little too method. Where does he end and Moody begin?
Right.
He's lost
Right.
himself to the role.
Right. He's Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln.
Did he lose himself in Lincoln? Was that the one?
Yeah, he would only respond on set if people like referred to him as Abraham Lincoln.
Oh no. Oh my God. I always think of Laurence Olivier. Oh dear, have you tried acting? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Come on now. Ick.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's really like it in the chapter. I mean, there is like a little bit in their conversation where Harry's like, I'm putting the puzzle together of like, there's been stuff happening and I think it's getting serious. And he's
Right.
like, wow, cool.
You're a sharp one.
Yeah.
Very observant. Not a curious person, but
yeah, very observant. Not of your map. the map that only would tell you everything you need to know in every book that you've been
Actually,
confused about so far. If you had this map has been here.
If you just had your eye on, if you had someone paying attention to the map at some point while you're like running around, someone would at least, even if it wasn't Harry, like if Ron and Hermione were keeping an eye on the map, then Snape, like in book 3, Snape wouldn't have crept up on them.
If Fred and George had looked at it, they would have known it was Ginny in book 2.
Oh yeah, in book 2. Yeah.
In book 1, if they had looked at it, they would have known that it was Quirrell. They probably wouldn't have known until the end. Probably.
Maybe though, when he's running around doing stuff.
Well, unless they keep seeing him go out to drink fucking unicorn blood in the middle of the night.
Yeah, right. They would have known he was the one that let the troll in.
Yeah.
If they were looking at the map.
This map is
anyway
the answer to all the problems.
It really is.
I really feel like I don't know if she I think she kind of fades into the background in the rest of the books, doesn't she, Miss Map?
Do they use her in the 5th for the Room of Requirement? Miss Map.
Miss Map. Does Miss Map come back in season 5?
A Miss Map return. Yeah, in season 5, does she? We'll find out. I think maybe they do. They use it every once in a while to check to make sure no one's
out and about in the hall. Yeah, I think it's like they look to make sure that nobody's walking by the Room of Requirement or something like that when they leave. Is that it or something like that? But it's like it's not meant. I don't think it's used in the way that it like becomes a plot point ever again. And then in this, no, not really. In the 6th book, they use it when it's like the Battle of before the Battle of Hogwarts starts. I think he leaves it with Harry and Ron, and they're like, just keep an eye on what Malfoy's up to. Mm-hmm. But it's all very like, what it should be being used for, basically. Just be like, hey, we have a map that shows the entire Hogwarts layout. Just like keep an eye on it. Just have someone on map duty at all times. Girl, just look at the map. Let's go. Read the map. So anyway, that's it. That's the chapter. Wonderful. Thank you. That wraps up this chapter. Next week, we'll be reading chapter 26 called The Second Task. We still do not have a review. Let me check for verification. No, I just did. Oh, you just looked? Yeah, I did earlier. Oh my God. No, yeah. There's one. Oh my God. There is not one. What is happening? Listeners, please help us out here. Please help us out. Yeah, the fruits of our labor. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you find your podcasts, as well as video versions on the Ampliverse YouTube channel and Spotify. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so we can get a perfect newt score, 5 stars only, or else Myrtle's gonna watch you bathing in the bathtub.
That's about the worst thing. Or you'll be flushed down the toilet with its contents into the Black Lake. Is it the Black Lake? What is it called? Black Lake? The lake. You're going to be flushed down with poop.
Poop! Myrtle's going to watch
don't
you
forget
naked.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at HBAnxious, Instagram at HBAnxious, and YouTube at The Ampliverse. We are hosted on Anchor and recorded on Zencaster, so thank you to both of them, and are a proud member of The Ampliverse. Check them out at theampliverse.com. Thank you, Adam, for leading us through that.
You're welcome.
And as always, Knox.